In your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest fellow in the Easter parade. I'll be all in clover, and when you look me over, you'll be the proudest fella in the Easter parade. On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, photographers will snap us. We'll be the best dressed. So I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and the one that I'll be taking to the Easter parade. On the avenue, Fifth Avenue, photographers will snap us. We'll be so well dressed, just us, just us. And in your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the handsomest fella in the Easter parade. I'll be dressed in clover, and when you look me over, I'll be the best woman in the Easter parade. In the Easter parade. Welcome to a very fuzzy hat, bonnety, fabulous, Christmassy, not Christmassy, Eastery. What am I talking about? Well, you know, it's Eastery, Christmassy, risen, Christianity, all that kind of stuff. Lots of chickens, lots of bunnies, lots of chocolate, who knows? And of course, my favorite chicky bunny himself, Mr. Pedro Segundo. That song really sums up the way that I feel about Easter, because for me, ever since I saw that film, Easter Parade, with Judy Garland and Fred Astaire, I was obsessed with hats. Well, I was anyway. But and of course, here I am in New Orleans, in the place that can only match my obsession with wiggery, as you know, with the great hats. And here's one of them. And it's this place that I'm going to take you to today. The people that made this gorgeous creation, all very My Fair Lady, don't you think, Cecil Beaton? Oh yes. There is in the French Quarter, of course, a temple to millinery. That's the right word. And I have managed to grab the lovely Kimberly, who is the chief milliner, and she is the joy and the creativity behind the most amazing place called Fleur de Paris. Join me, please, won't you, as I take you there right now. Come on.
Here I am. Isn't it incredible how I can jump from the piano straight here and didn't even change? Anyway, I am in one of my favorite places on earth. It is the Temple to Millinery. It is Fleur de Paris, here in the heart of New Orleans on Royal Street. And honest to goodness, I have never in my life seen anywhere like this. We have with us the creator, the head milliner, Ms. Kimberly, and tell us your surname, please.
Gondrella.
Oh, I get it wrong every time. That's the problem with dyslexia. Gondrella. She's so Italian. It's Italian.
It's Sicilian, although
It's Sicilian. You notice the difference? It's not just Italian. Are you listening to this, Gabe Nicotro? It's Sicilian. It's not even Italian. Yes, look at you, darling. My sound guy is from Sicily. He will appreciate that completely. So, on the odd occasion when I have actually blown all budgets out sky high, I'm always looking for excuses to wear hats and finding not enough of them. But there is one time of the year, outside of doing videos, where I can actually wear a hat, and that is the Easter Parade, of which I spoke in the first song. It happens here. It's very famous in New York from way back in the day, you know, turn of the century, as in 19th, going into the 20th. Here, it's a thing, because everything's a thing, because you've got to have a party. It's party or plague. So having the Easter Parade here means everybody gets their fucking hats out. It's wear the bonnet, do it, show it, bring it. This year, I don't know what to expect, but I want Kimberly to tell us what it's like here for the Easter Parade and what it's like for the people coming in and shopping and buying. You can take your mask off. We're very far away from each other if you want.
I mean, there are 3 different Easter parades here in the French Quarter. There is a very old-fashioned traditional parade, the ladies in the carriages with the flowers, the Germain Wells Parade. And that, of course, goes to the cathedral for Mass, and then it goes to brunch. Then there is another, a little more rambunctious parade called the Chris Owens Easter Parade, and that has your floats, and it has the beads, and it has the fun, still again with the beautiful big bonnets, and the ladies all in their Sunday dresses, and the gentlemen in their suits. And then there's a gay Easter parade that follows all of those. They're a little later because they get up a little later, okay? You know, the later on in the day, the crazier the parade, right? And that is exactly what you would imagine, and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic parade, and I've participated in most of the parades in some capacity or another, and I have to say they're all equally fantastic. And what it's like in here leading up to that, I mean, it's essentially a frenzy. People are just going crazy, getting their hats, they're bringing in dresses to match, we're doing custom order to match their beautiful outfits. And people are buying them off the rack last minute, or right until, the end of the day on Saturday, we'd be selling hats for Easter Sunday. So it is an incredible experience, not just for the people in the parade, but the people that are watching are also dressed up. I mean, they are wearing their hats, hoping that the people in the parade will see their hat and throw them something. So it's a reciprocal situation. I think everyone encourages each other to dress up.
I love this. I mean, this is what makes it so incredible about New Orleans. It's always about the lagniappe part of it. It's all about people wanting to entertain other people and give them a present. It's all about people finding community, but sharing in the experience. So it's not just, I'm here with this great hat and you're there staring at me. You've got a bloody marvellous hat on too. It reminds me of Barkus and every other parade, where it's dogs watching dogs parade. I mean, this is, throwing biscuits. I mean, the dogs can't, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. It is the most incredible thing about this city. And I don't know, Jorge, I've got a lovely gentleman here today called Jorge, who's actually on camera on iPhone. But can you just show that back, that whole passage back there, to give you an idea of how unbelievable this place is. Yeah. And it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. It's miraculous. Yeah. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And I'm going to do some serious damage here today, obviously, as you can imagine, because, this was an excuse, don't tell Harry, to just get more hats. So here's what I want to ask you, darling Kimberly. Here in front of the light, looking ever so glam, show me your best Easter bonnet. Come on, throw it at me, because I want my audience to see what it's like getting fitted for a hat. Now remember, by the way, you can again, you don't have to come here. If you come to New Orleans, make your way immediately to here. You know that. Fifi Mahoney's, Fleur de Paris, that's the shit. But if you can't get down here, you can get online. You can go to fleurdeparis.com, can't you?
It's actually fdphats.com
there you go.
or fleurdeparis.net.
There you go. Sorry, I got that completely wrong. So you got that. I'm going to put this up also underneath. You'll see this. You can get these online. You can knock yourself out and have a fun time. Just do the hoovering wearing one of these. It feels so good. you just have a clean house when you wear one of these. So show me what you've got. Now, have a look up there. Like, come on.
This is the one that
We're not in. We're not in.
No.
Can you actually reach that, or do I have to help you in some way?
I got it.
Oh, look at that.
Woo! 2 hands on the brim. You want to give it some attitude.
Come on. Don't I need to own this? Yeah. What do you think? It's just too good, isn't it? I mean, it's just like, now we're talking My Fair Lady, aren't we? This is true. A complete Cecil Beaton. Oh, look, I can look at myself. It's ridiculous. All right, I'm not even going to ask you the price because that's getting home with me. Don't. Now, there's another one up here that kills me. Look at this. How New Orleans is that? It's got a magnolia in it. Oh, look, we've got a
This one
stick
here?
to get that one.
Oh, yes, I can go fishing for hats here.
Oh my, well, there's so many. Now this looks, to me, it's so extraordinary because it has the very flower of New Orleans. So to me, it's just like a given.
Beautiful with your hair color too, I think. And again, you can manipulate it a little bit if you want you don't want it to drape too
All
much.
right, I need you to vote on this. Which one do I get? This is what I'm asking. Which do you want? I think this is incredible. Can I just stare at myself here?
There's such different hats.
I'm still feeling a little this one. I'm feeling a little
I
this one.
feel like this
you
is
know?
Derby. This is Easter.
This is what Derby.
Kentucky Derby.
Oh, so when I go to the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I feel like this is a little more tailored, chic. This
Yeah.
is vivacious and blossoming spring.
I think I could go to the Uptown Ladies, and then the Quarter, and then for God's sake, my favourite, the Gay Easter Parade wearing this. I think nobody would. Now I just want to talk very quickly about a hat that was that I acquired once. Do you remember it? It was the largest hat you had ever made.
I do.
And it was like a giant cloche that looked almost like this, but I shit you not when I said the sides came out to here. I used it for one of my CD like packages, which I'm going to try and find a photograph of that and get that to you. Remember, it was this size.
It had feathers like
It
these
had
on
everything in it.
Yeah,
It had everything in
pheasant.
it. And there is nowhere I can wear that except to the Easter Parade. And of course, it's in LA. So what does that mean? It means I have to buy a hat. Anyway, that being said, is there anything else you'd like to show us, or any of the things that people never see?
I do want to just, some people are nervous about wearing hats, and fascinators have become such a big deal, with the royal weddings and everything especially. But the nice thing about them...
Sorry, can I just say the royal disaster wedding?
Yeah.
That's a terrible
The
thing.
nice thing about fascinators is that they've gone from being really evening-only hats to now pieces that people do wear during the day. And so we're doing them in a lot of brighter colors and a lot of really wild feathers. These are all hand-cut and hand-painted feathers. Feathers...
So no birds have been hurt in the usage of
No.
this?
Most birds just naturally molt their feathers, so you just follow behind the birds and pick them up. Honestly, the people that are breeding these kinds of birds for this sort of industry, these are not endangered animals. These are all pretty much rooster and chicken feathers, believe it or not.
Wow.
This is an ostrich feather, but they've been manipulated and cut and painted to give an illusion that they're a rare tropical bird.
God, I love that.
Yeah, and feathers are protein, so you can use the same dyes that you would use for silk on feathers. So it dyes just the way silk dyes.
Is it strange that Harry actually follows me and picks up my feathers after me? Is that weird? I don't know. He could make a hat for me out of my feathers. That's just bonkers, isn't it? I mean, come on. I'm seeing another one up there, another fascinator that's orange and turquoise.
Oh,
The colour of my heart. I mean, look at these. It's very hard to come in here, as you can imagine, and not just, like I said, lose the house, lose everything you have, lose everything you own. And then if you could go in here, Jorge, and just look at these ribbons in the background. I'm sure that my male audience are probably just dropping off in the handful, but every gay man that's on here, with all the women watching today, are just lapping this up. It's unbelievable. But, gents, don't forget, your lovely ladies like a good hat, so always a good idea for little presents and all that kind of stuff. This is stunning. I feel like I'm ready to go to a royal wedding disaster. or we're all divorced, I don't care. But it's all marvelous. It's all marvelous. I want to thank you, Kimberly. Is there anything else that you'd like to show us back here? I mean, this is so divine, but I mean, this has just been a masterstroke. And what is your favorite? There you go. What do you think your favorite hat is in this place? It's hard to say,
so
isn't it?
it is very difficult. As an artist, I can't just simply design for myself. I need to design for every possible woman that walks in the door.
Yeah.
And I love color. I love high saturation color, lots of color combinations. But as you can probably see, I'm quite goth in my regular life. So the hats I tend to wear for myself are not necessarily the hats that are my favorite hats that I have made. I mean, these are the ones that are my favorites right now. My favorite hats for myself would be, if we turn around and look up, more like these.
Oh, look at those.
So I tend towards, I like the drama, and obviously I like black, and I like feathers. So
gorgeous.
those are the ones that I would personally love to wear out and about in my life. And I do, absolutely.
That's the other thing that I think is so remarkable about this city, is that people do wear these things. It's not just like they come in here and go, ooh, oh, how lovely. People get to wear these things. I get to, walk around like this, like the crazy woman that I am, and I just love it to bits, because it is fantasy, and like I said, it's one of the great distractions, and also the great way of having fun in life. This is part of it, so. And the other question I had for you, Kimberly, was how long does it take? For example, this amazing Easter hat, how many work hours did that take for you to do?
Well, it's difficult to say, because things aren't done from start to finish. So the shapes, when we block them, it does take 24 hours to finish the physical shape, the block shape, but we block a whole bunch of them at the beginning of every season in anticipation of what we think we're going to need. And then throughout the course of the season and the year, we decorate, we trim, we do the millinery aspect of it. And this, for instance, is a lot of, everything is hand sewn, first of all. It's not glued, and every feather has to be individually sewn so that they don't move around too much. They move around enough, but not too much. And all of these individual pieces were already dyed, and cut the way that they were. This particular one takes a little longer, because every color, every color, and it's the feathers, every color on those feathers, every tone, it has to dry in between. So if there are 3 different colors of ombre on there, it takes about a day to dry, so that it all doesn't bleed together and you have a mishmash of color. So it's, strangely enough, sometimes people always ask me why the fascinators are often just as expensive as one of these, and it's because there's a lot more work actually that goes into the fascinators than the proper hats.
It's pretty remarkable. Well, I mean, I think the great thing about this place, and of you standing there as the goth milliner that you are, is that you are proof that the hats don't have to be pompous and silly and just the kind of things that you just wear to whatever, the races, whatever, or just for those kind of uptown ladies. That's not what it is. It's a work of art, it's theatre, it's joy, it's fun, it's terribly gay, and we love it so much. And seeing you here, it just shows that it's also got a lot of balls to it, if you don't mind me saying.
I agree.
You got some serious balls.
I agree.
In,
I think it's very
the hat
fun.
wearing, it takes confidence, but once you get into wearing hats, it's like you suddenly feel like you've got your armor on. It's a wonderful feeling. And that is pretty much where I'm going to end this today, because I'm going to lead us into a song in a minute, which is very much about wearing a hat and being empowered, because I think that's really what it's about. You have been a spectacular interview. Really, I mean, honestly, this has just been fantastic.
Well, thank you.
I want to thank you so much, Kimberly. You are an absolute joy. And for letting me come in here, my favourite place in the world. I'm going to send you back to the studio whilst I spend some money on God knows how many hats. But we are here, let me remind you, at Fleur de Paris, Royal Street, New Orleans. Give us the website again, one more time.
So www.fdphats.com or www.fleurdeparis.net.
There you go. Again, I have no back end in any of this. I have no interest in this, except these people are miraculous and we want this place to stay forever. So back to the studio we go. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank
Mwah.
you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's brilliant. I love that about you, Pedro. You can't even see what was going on and you loved it. But I mean, what we call them tit-for-tats. I mean, can you believe, how is it that I haven't bankrupted myself and my dear husband with the Hatteries? I mean, that is the kind of place you could, okay, I have gone nuts in there. It's another one of those places that is such a great distraction. The women in there are so fantastic. It is a fantasy place. If you ever come down to New Orleans, you've got to go to Fleur de Paris. It's also online. You can find them. It's going to be the most amazing time you ever had buying yourself a hat. It changes your life. Now, I don't want these songs, this next song, I figured I don't want it just to be sort of all polite and lovely and looking like me, like I should be on some sort of slut horseback rider, which is what I'm looking like today. I look like some Victorian horseback riding slut. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to do here. What I wanted to do was I wanted to find something that was like guts and sexy about hats. Hats and sex, how does that work? I don't know. I found a way. And it's back to somebody that I love very, very much, and somebody that actually came from New Orleans, and that is the fabulous Randy Newman. This is a song from the 70s that he wrote. It's a very sort of male song, and it's unbelievably, well, probably not at all PC in today's climate, which is a bit of a shame. But it is again now because I'm singing it. It's time for a woman to sing this song. Join me, please, as I go absolutely sex crazy with this next song. It is, in fact, You Can Keep Your Hat On. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Baby, take off your coat real slow. Baby, take off your shoes. I'll take off your shoes, I can do that. Baby, take off the rest. Yes, yes, yes. You can keep your hat on. You can keep your hat on. Go over there, turn on the lights, turn on the lights. Come back here, stand on that chair. That's right, put up your arms, raise your arms in the air. Shake it, there, there, there. You can keep your hat on, keep your hat on, keep your hat on, you can keep, oh, you can keep your hat on. Oh, baby, give me something to live. You give me something to live for. Baby, take off your coat real slow. Baby, take off your shoes. It's something I can do for you. Baby, take off the rest. Yes, yes, yes. You can keep your hat on. Keep your hat on. You can keep. Yeah, baby, you can keep your hat on. Give me something to live for. Oh, give me something to live for. Give me something to live for. Yes, yes, yes. And I like it, you know, when you actually do finish the sentence properly, the word properly, and say yes. And punctuation, don't you think diction is extraordinarily important in the sex act?
Yes.
When one is wearing a hat, like a horse riding slut. Well, that is the end of our fantastic, for fuck's sake, Easter special. I don't know why, for fuck's sake, and Easter don't sound so great together. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure this one out. But whatever it is that you do on Easter, whether it be God and Christ, whether it be chocolate and chickens, whatever it might be, who cares, and hats and maniacs like me, have a fantastic time. That's my phone ringing, I must go. But let me tell you right now, don't forget that this song, which is oh so perfect for Easter, because it is the existential song about this being heaven on earth, not up there on some cloud, you know. Don't forget to buy this. Come on, you know you need it. With Pedro and Helen Gillet. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to find his way home. This has been me, your naughty hat-wearing hostess, for Easter Sunday's very special himself, the wonderful pianist, wonderful friend, Mr. David Torkanowski on Switcher. Thank you, Tom Roach, for being the audience. We will see you on Wednesday. Where can I go from here? You'll soon find out. Love you all. Take good care of yourselves. Bye now. Mwah.